Jim, why is that consensus not there right now? Yet 20% of the world's oil goes to the Strait of Hormuz. These 6 tankers that have been attacked in May and in June, in separate instances, were both UAE, Norwegian, Saudi Arabian, and others, not American. But these countries are just turning to America and saying, please defend the world's shipping lanes. Why is it up to us unilaterally? It's one thing I agree with President Trump on. Why is it up to us unilaterally to defend the world's shipping lanes? Why is there not already a coalition here?
Well, I think there's 2 factors. One is, look, they just don't want to be here. They wanted everything to be fine. They didn't want to have to deal with this, and they just want a different world. And so they're just grumpy. And the other is they know the United States can do this. If you think back to the Taika War in the 1980s, the United States has proven it can put a sustained presence in the Gulf and keep the waterways open. So they know that we can carry the ball on this, and so they're just being like the 6th grader that just doesn't want to go back into the classroom.
Well, talk about 6th graders. I don't know if it applies here, but U.S. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer just said that he's worried about the U.S., and I'm quoting here, bumbling into a war with Iran. I wouldn't put it exactly that way. The president, I was kind of surprised by his restraint today, suggesting that it might have been some errant general on the Iranian side who pushed the button without asking the proper authorities. So he seems to be constraining himself a bit. But what do you make of Schumer's statement?
Well, I am shocked that Chuck Schumer might be playing politics with
right.
this. I mean, I just find that's unbelievable. But look, I think, honestly speaking, again, because the president actually has a handle on the situation, and I think everyone knows that, including the Iranians, I think what everybody is doing is they're just continuing to play politics because they know they can do that and get away with it.
But just to follow up, there are people that are concerned, even among the Republicans, that we may get into a war because of the background of Iran and Hezbollah, their control of terrorists around the world, and how they may put them into action, if not here, perhaps someplace in Europe, right?
Well, I think, and the Iranians know this, the administration's been very clear. The U.S. has shown restraint. If the Iranians or their surrogates cross the line and they go to the point where they're actually killing people, the United States is very likely to take a response, but it's going to be proportional, right? So if the Iranians do something, we may shoot down the plane or go drop a bomb on their airfield, but we're not going to, we're not going to start doing carpet bombing of Tehran, and they know that. And I don't think there is a tremendous risk of escalation here because neither side really wants it to escalate. And this whole thing about bumbling into war, that show me where that's really happened. Nations don't bumble into war. That's just ridiculous.
But, Jim, how can this not escalate? I don't understand how you can say it not escalate. When you back autocratic regimes into a corner, autocratic regimes tend to do something stupid. You may say that the president has a control of this, but the president does not have a control of Iran. And Iran is, for their very existence, they're talking about the regime there. They feel like they've got to create something here for nationalistic fervor. There's a good chance, I think better than 50-50, this thing escalates significantly.
No, I think you've got that exactly 100% backwards. Authoritarian regimes in situations
what we said about
like
Japan and Pearl Harbor?
They tend to become much more risk averse, and I think that's much more likely here. And the other thing is, what you're seeing is you're seeing a lot of activities of the same kind. You're not seeing activities that rise at an escalatory level. I think that the situation with Japan is completely different. I mean, there you see a serious escalation. But if you want to compare, Iran to Japan, it just makes no sense.
I want to compare the response. They just torpedoed our mind a bunch of tankers that were innocent civilians. That's a pretty good escalation right there. You can put your head in the sand if you want to, but that's not what history tells you.
Yeah, and I just don't think you can minimize it. I mean, look, you have
one at a time. Go ahead, Jonathan.